Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so excited to be here with Amrita. I had the opportunity to do her Glastonbury event earlier this year, and it was amazing. It's such an opportunity to become more embodied, and especially for those of us who have any trauma around sexuality, and I've had plenty, so, and sometimes I'm not even aware of what those things are. And so this was just such a beautiful event that I got to participate in, bringing me more present, bringing me more into my body and into that awareness. And I feel like I'm still integrating. It's been a few months,
Mhm.
but it's
Yeah, it does
probably
take a while to integrate. It really does. And I really appreciate you sharing about your own experience because I hear this from so many women who come through my retreats. It's such a deeply personal experience that not many of them are willing to talk about it or share. So I'm really honored that you are willing to do so and to bring me on and have this conversation. Um, so I'll just do a brief introduction of myself if that's okay.
yes, please.
Yeah. So my name is Amrita Grace, and Cayelin and I have known each other for a very long time. And we're both priestesses, different lineages, but have just really appreciated and admired each other's work for a long time. And I was so delighted when Cayelin told me that she was going to be coming to my Glastonbury retreat, which was last July, late June, early July. It was an incredible opportunity for both of us to spend that sacred time together.
A
Yeah.
very way out wonderful. Wow.
You
Love it.
mentioned sexual wounding, and it's so deep in the collective, and it's so handed down from generation to generation that I really believe we all have it. We may not be aware of it, or it may not be something that happened even in this lifetime, but it's in our bodies, it's in our pelvises, and that's what we really want to access and release. And that's really the gift that I bring to offer, is creating a sacred and safer space for women to have that kind of healing without having to talk about it or go back, just re-experience it.
Right, but to have the direct experience, and you do that such a beautiful job. One of the things I was very impressed with was how many women that were there that had been with you before and were coming back because they'd had such a profound experience and wanted to do it again. And I feel like that's true for me also. And I know that you are creating another event, and this may be your last one, and I want to go so badly. I might see if I can work something out, but committed to something else. And so
Yeah.
it just so happens to conflict with that date. But if I didn't have anything there, I'd for sure be there.
So I do plan for this to be my final event, my final retreat. It is in March, and it is in Northern California. So March 2025, and it's March 24th through the 28th. So it's a 4-day retreat, and it's women only. And of course, I welcome non-binary people who are born in a feminine body, non-binary femmes, I like to say. And there's really an opportunity over the course of 4 days, just a little bit longer than a weekend, to really drop in deep. That's why I decided for my final retreat to make it 4 days. It's not a whole week, but it's definitely longer than a weekend, and an incredible opportunity to really drop in with each other and with ourselves.
Yeah. Oh, I just think anybody who feels even the slightest nudge, follow up, and we'll put in the show notes all the details of the event as well. But really, I would highly recommend this so much. It's not something that I have ever come across anywhere else, honestly. And yeah, and
Yeah.
what you do and how you do it and how you hold the space is just so amazing. I think
Thank
there's
you,
probably a better
Cayelin.
word, but I can't think of it right now.
Well, my word is impeccable. I strive for a truly an impeccable space. And in order to be able to do that, it means I have had to have done my work and continue to do my own work, my shadow work, my sexual healing work. It's an ongoing, lifelong journey. And so I strive to be a very, very clear vessel of the goddess to hold her space for
And
women.
you are a very clear vessel of the goddess, just saying. And being in Glastonbury and being able to go to the Chalice Well and all the things that we got to do, in addition to all the other things we were doing, was just like icing on the cake.
It was pretty special. Yeah, that was my fourth and final year in Glastonbury. It's been really an amazing journey because it started during COVID and it was quite a thing. It was quite a
Yeah.
thing to, I mean, the first year it was supposed to happen was 2020. So it did happen in 2021 and then 2022, 23, and 24. I feel really complete with it now. And I feel like we brought something really magnificent to the land itself, to the Chalice Well, and to the healing of that part of the planet.
I'm so grateful I got to do that with you
Me too.
and really accidentally saw that information. And I just, without knowing really anything about what it was all about, I just knew I had to go.
I
I'm
hear that a lot of times. I hear that. I didn't exactly know what I was getting into, but I knew I had to be there.
yeah,
So if you know that you feel called to this, I'm happy to have a phone conversation or a Zoom conversation with you if you would like to, if you have any questions. I'm very accessible, available. Certainly you can reach out to me via email and we'll provide all that information for you, including the link to the details. Happy to invite you if you feel called.
yes. And so with that, just a reminder that all that information will be in the show notes. You can access it easily. We'll make sure that it's something that's easy to do if you want to do it, like easy to sign up for, easy to get the information for. But
Absolutely. Definitely will do that. I'll just say a little bit about the retreat center too. It's called San Damiano and it's very accessible from the Bay Area, about 30 minutes or 30 miles, I should say, from the Oakland airport. But it's very much off the beaten path. It's in the Las Trampas Regional Wilderness Park. So it's surrounded by forest and trees and beautiful nature. I was just there this last March for a long weekend retreat and it was very well received. It's so interesting because it's a Franciscan place. So there's some religious overlay to it, but they welcome all. They welcome all. And the place itself has its own sacredness. From the dining room, which has this wall of windows looking out onto the forest, I saw this incredible, we saw a beautiful double rainbow. And it was the brightest rainbow I've ever seen in my entire life. And that includes my 10 years on Maui. It's a very pristine part of nature and it's a beautiful cradle for us to be in.
I still want to be there. I'm gonna
I
work.
so want you to be there. Like,
Yeah,
I'm just hoping that something shifts so that you can, Cayelin.
yeah, me too. So, and I hope that those of you who are listening, who feel inspired, I get to see you there if I get to go, if I can make that happen. So
Yeah.
thank you, thank you, thank you, Amrita. Just love the work you do so much. Love you so much.
Oh,
So
love
great.
you too, Cayelin. So grateful for you. So grateful for this opportunity to share about this together. And thank you so much for inviting me.
My pleasure, always.
Yeah, many, many blessings, one and all.
Many blessings. Bye, everyone.